Okay. Put lip gloss on so I don't look dead. Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's Friday. It's Friday.
Last day of vacation, you guys. Last day.
I know. Then we're back to normal. I mean, as normal as we ever will be, right?
Yes. Monday, new week, back to normal, 7:15 Eastern, back to normal time, starting on Monday. So put that in, make a note of it.
Yeah. People have calendars, right? Yeah.
Before we get to, we have to share a conversation that we were just having before we went live about charcuterie boards and dead cows. These two things do go together. And so we're going to tell you about that in a second. But first, we want to mention very quickly our friends at My Patriot Supply, your go-to one-stop shop place online to get all things survival disaster recovery. I noticed that at mypatriotsupply.com, in addition to the food kits that you can get, like the water filtration systems, they have all kinds of things, like first aid kits, all that stuff. They also have, if you're new to the whole idea of prepping and disaster recovery stuff, you can buy a variety, a range, as Jen Psaki would say. You have options of a range of different books that can teach you about what you need to do and have on hand in the event of a disaster. So that's another cool thing that you can get. Good resources you can get at mypatriotsupply.com. Check them out immediately.
And then also make sure that you guys are following us on Locals. Make sure that you're doing that because free speech is paramount. It's chicksontheright.locals.com. Chicksontheright.locals.com. Follow us there. Follow us today.
So I was talking to Daisy off air because last night, friends of ours and I, we went out to dinner and we went to this cute, adorable little area outside of Beaufort, South Carolina called Habersham, which is very fancy, right?
It sounds fancy. It's like, where do you live? I live in Habersham.
Habersham, darling.
And what did you do in Habersham? I shall tell you. I shall tell you.
I mean, it's just the cutest couple of little blocks that they've made to look all old-timey. And it's condos and townhomes and just these cute little restaurants and little bars and little art shops and all that stuff. Anyway, I was telling Daisy about a specific place that I knew she would love, which was, because you guys know how she is about charcuterie boards.
Oh my God,
right?
obsessed with charcuterie, right?
So this place is a little, you walk in, tiny little place. Imagine an ice cream shop where you look down into the freezer and you choose your ice cream flavor. It's kind of like that, except that instead of ice cream, it's all the things that you might put in a charcuterie board. And you point out all the things that you want. And then they make you this beautiful charcuterie board that you then take outside to these adorable little tables and you drink wine and you eat your creation.
It's a brilliant idea. It's absolutely brilliant. So I don't know why they should have one of those in Waco because all the Wacoans would eat that up. They would love it because there's so many yuppies here, you know? They just love all the charcuterie stuff. I like the charcuterie stuff. But then we're talking about this like right before she told me, because I'm like, so what did you do? What did you do yesterday? Did you have fun? Blah. She was telling me she did this with her husband and their friends. They went and did this. And she's like, oh my God, you would have loved this place. It would have been so great. And I was just telling her we were talking about ranching. We were talking about I had a mobile vet come to the house because I can't get my dogs in a car. I live in the country. I don't take my giraffes to a vet. The vet comes to us. It's kind of like the vet coming to you if you have horses and cattle, which we do. We have cattle. And so the vet comes to us and they give the vaccinations to our dogs here on our property outside. You know, they like drive up in their truck. She drives up in her truck. It's a she drives up in her truck. She gives the vaccinations. And I was telling her, I'm like, my dog's been peeing a lot. I don't know what's going on. We're like having this conversation. It's like,
these are the conversations we have.
These are the conversations we have. And then I said something, we were talking about cows. And I said, some ranchers, and she was like, what do they do if a cow, passes away or whatever? And I'm like, well, some ranchers, they take the cow, and they put it out in the back pasture and then they let nature take its course. I'm like, and then there's like one down the street, cow died. It's right next to the fence. I had to look at that thing for like 6 months while it decomposed. And we're just talking about this, right? And then she's talking about charcuterie.
in Habersham.
In Habersham. And I'm like, this is the difference between you and me, right? Like, I mean, as much as I like charcuterie, like, she's like, I had charcuterie with wine in Habersham. And I'm like, and I'm driving past a dead, decomposing cow. This is like, so if you ever wanted to know the difference between Mock and Daisy, that's it.
That's right there.
That's it. Mm-hmm. There you go, everybody. Right.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Mm-hmm. By the way, and I was telling her also that when we pulled up into the parking lot of this adorable little community, there was a cat in the parking space, and we parked. The cat got out of the way. I got out, and of course, you know how I am with anything that has fur. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, come here, kitty, kitty, let me feel you." And I start to pet it. A very friendly cat, and I notice it has a very fancy, like bedazzled collar, and it says Nix, Nix, the mayor of Habersham. So they have like a welcoming cat, you guys.
This is, I mean, this is the area where she will retire, and I will be knee deep in cow shit. This is the difference. Come visit, everybody. Come visit.
We offer the best of all the worlds.
We do. We totally do.
Oh my God. Okay, can you tell everybody about this fight?
Yes, I will. There's a very important fight happening, you guys. Ted Cruz is fighting with Mr. T. You guys remember Mr. T? Okay, so I was trying to read this to her earlier. So Mr. T tweeted, I just received my second Moderna booster vaccine and I feel good. I'm still going to wear my mask and keep my distance because the virus ain't over, fool. Grr. Is that a good impression of Mr. T? Because that's a Mr. T. He tweeted that. So Ted Cruz, he came out and he said that this stance was bizarre. So he called him bizarre, which, I mean, it kind of is bizarre, right? But he came out and called him bizarre. And I guess they went back and forth. And there's backlash against the senator. There's backlash against Ted Cruz because he said it was
You don't
bizarre.
go after Mr. T.
I guess you don't go after an 80s icon. You're not supposed to do that. Yeah, but they accused him of shaming Mr. T for exercising the freedom to choose whether he masks up, an argument the Texas senator repeatedly used during the height of the pandemic. So they're fighting.
A news story.
They're fighting. Mr. T and Ted Cruz are fighting now, you guys. This is what's happening in our world. Mm-hmm. Right.
And that's another perfect example of just how borked everything is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Katie, thank you very much. Katie says, my son Ian and I are watching you in the car line for school. He says thanks for his My Pillow at Christmas.
And I think I said cow crap, and I said the other word. I'm sorry.
You did say the other word.
I'm sorry.
Hide your kids. Hide your wives. Today is the day, you guys, that the Oscar Academy is making its decision on whether or not to take away Will Smith's Oscar or decide on whatever other consequences there may be. And apparently they are split down the middle right now in terms of the people who want to take it away and the people who don't. So I don't know what consequence they're going to come up with. It does seem a little weird to take away the Oscar when like Harvey Weinstein still has his, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't know. They need to have some consistent rules or consequences for things. I don't know. So I don't know what they're going to do, but that's being decided today.
They would end up taking away like half the Oscars that they've given out because so many of those people are freaking skeeves. Right. I mean, what are the standards? What are they?
Exactly.
I mean, are there any? Are there any standards? They act like they're so holier than thou. These people, oh my God. I mean, listen, he was a total jerk for punching him. I agree. It was a display where you watch and you're like, all these people are giving him a standing ovation. Like, these people are just nuts. They're nuts. Mm-hmm. But you're absolutely right. When people like Harvey Weinstein still has his, you're just like, people are, all of you are gross. All of you. You're just gross. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Sherry Fox, thank you very much for that super sticker. You may notice that my name today, Makatype, I did that specifically because I saw in the news that Meghan Markle is trying to trademark the word archetype because she uses it in like some of their branding for their stuff. They've got like Archwell, and I think it's going to be either part of the name of her dumbass podcast or the name of it. I don't know, but you can't just like trademark that word. You know what I mean? But she's trying to do that. And it's not even archetype, which would have been cuter because it would have been a play on her son's name.
Right.
She's actually just trying to, to like trademark the name archetype. So that is why I chose the name that I did today.
Marketype. Yeah.
Marketype.
These people are so self-absorbed.
I know.
She's
just
so self-absorbed. Right. Mm-hmm. And it's remember when they were like, I just want privacy. We just want to like go live a private life.
They want their privacy. We would like our privacy, please.
Yeah.
While we go to Haversham.
Right. And eat charcuterie. That's what. Right. Mm-hmm.
Also, another quick note, Elon Musk is planning on holding a town hall for the Twitter employees to get them feeling good about his ownership in the company. I don't know when that's happening, but I know that was announced yesterday that he's going to be holding some sort of Twitter town hall.
Butthurt. Those people are so incredibly butthurt. It's hilarious. It's like, grow up. Grow up. How many times have you worked for companies where it's changed leadership and you've been like, so what? I mean, it's like and it's like, he's not even the seat. It's not like he's coming in and like taking over the seat. He's just a shareholder. He's just a huge share. So what? Everybody is so clutching their pearls over this. It's like, big deal. He's going to come in there. I saw memes, all the memes of him being like stoned running the meetings. You know what I mean? It's just like, whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, it's become a giant story. And so now he's going to address it with the staff personally so that they can calm themselves down. Ketanji Brown Jackson has been confirmed to the Supreme Court. So that is official and done. And apparently Mitt Romney joined all the Democrats in a big standing ovation.
Because he is a Democrat. Because he is a Democrat. Right.
And then I got tons of video to play for you. One, which talks about there's more video coming out, that undercover, or maybe not undercover, I don't know, video from Christopher Rufo about all the Disney stuff. So the Disney story continues to get more and more crazy. And that same content executive, like I don't remember what her title is, but like some important executive when it comes to content and the kind of content that Disney puts out there. She's the one that has the two queer kids.
The blonde, the blonde lady. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So she's saying more stuff, and she's talking about how the reason that they're going to be moving towards 50% representation of LGBTQIA minority blah in all of their programming is because her kids have explained to her that Gen Z is 30 to 40% queerer than previous generations. And so they need better representation. So why we're going 50%, I have no idea. Like, why not just make it 100% LGBTQ, and then everybody, all the gay and all the pan and binary, non-binary, whatever, they can have Disney, and somebody else just needs to start new children's programming and be done with it, because Disney is lost.
I think, isn't Daily Wire starting a bunch of new programming like that? They're starting a bunch of new children's programming. And I saw, I don't know if I have this right. I think PragerU, I mean, so many conservative outlets like that, media outlets are starting to do children's programming. Mm-hmm. And they're advertising it. They're starting to get out there to combat this, because it's insanity what's happening. Yeah.
It's out of control.
The 30 to 40%, that should concern people, not because, we're not like welcoming of gay people, but the jump should concern people. Like, why are they really gay? Are they? Or are they just saying that they're gay? You know what I mean? That's where parents should be like, well,
it's not even gay, it's queer, which is a whole other thing, right? It's like, it's like it has more to do with gender almost than sexual orientation, although that's part of it. But it's about being queer and not fitting into the gender binary, which is it's literally just pretend. It's all these people are desperate for attention. It's not as huge of it's certainly not 30 to 40% huge, right?
Right.
But it's like everybody's jumping onto this trend, and it's ridiculous.
But you say it perfectly when you say they're desperate for attention, because they get it. I mean, kids want attention. I mean, that by their very nature, kids seek attention, and they want they value that from their parents, from people in authority. They want that. And we're, as a society, we're giving it to them for this. We're giving it to them with this, we value this somehow. And so they're like, oh, I can get attention by being this thing. I'm going to be this thing. Yeah. And it's outrageous what we're doing. Outrageous.
I know. Well, and I'll show you another Disney executive, what she said, because there's a whole different woman. I don't even know her name, but she's assigning a whole new term that I had not heard yet to herself when they're talking about this programming. But first, just want to remind everybody, if you're interested in investing in gold, look what you can get from Acre Gold. This is a 2.5 gram bar of gold, solid gold. This is what I earned with my subscription to Acre Gold. You can pay a monthly fee of your choosing, $50, $100, $200. And as you earn gold, they just send it to you in the mail and you stockpile it and you keep it in your wallet like I do, or you keep it in your safe, wherever you're going to keep it. It is your physical gold to have and to hold. And that is why we like it so much. And you can check it out, learn all about the subscription way of doing this at getacregold.com/chicks. You should try that.
And you guys, don't forget to tune into our deep dive podcast next week, because we're going to be interviewing Dave Rubin, who we love. We love him so much. And then we're going to be doing that on, we're going to be recording it on Monday. It'll be out Tuesday, the 12th. So another thing to put on your calendar is that Dave Rubin interview. We're super excited about it. We love.
And don't forget, you can get that wherever you get podcasts, wherever you listen, whatever app you choose. Put it right there, subscribe, and then you'll get the deep dive podcast as well as the dailies. Okay. So this Disney executive, she's going to tell you what her, I don't even know what you would call this. If this is I guess it would be a sexual orientation. It's not one I've heard of, but here she is explaining it to everyone. I think, I don't even know if she explains it as much as she just announces it.
I identify as like a biromantic asexual. I've had a lot
of
learning and growing about myself this year, kind of facilitated by how comfortable I felt on the Proud family and with my immediate team at Disney TVA. And so it's just sort of like this creative dissonance between my personal experience, where I feel so safe and so supported. I mean, like, I wasn't like in the closet, but like I'm real out now. But like and like outside of my team, outside of TVA, it's just, it feels like the things that we believe that we're trying to put into the shows are not what we're seeing in the real world. And yeah, it leaves you in a weird space. I'm still thinking, like, I want to use my content to like go deeper, like talk about how non-monolithic the LGBTQ plus community as an asexual. Like, it's just like, I feel like a lot of people don't know what that is. I have to like have a dissertation ready at any given time. I want to like add the pockets of the LGBTQ community that you don't see. I was like, I want to get like gay advanced. And then I realized like, oh shit, we need to go back to like gay 101. Like, so it's like,
she's talking about children's programming when she's saying all that, you guys.
Yeah, she's talking about like itty bitties. We're talking about, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds who watch this stuff. So this woman is a lunatic. It's like, you don't know what you're doing. Yeah, I mean, they don't like. Do you even know this? It's kind of like when I used to be a writer, right, in corporate America. The number one thing when I would go into any job, because I did it for 25 years, the number one thing was know your audience. Who's your audience? Who are you writing to? And so I would tailor my writing to my audience, like whatever the information was. And I don't think she knows that. I mean, she's creating content for itty bitty kids. It's like she's not doing her job well. So you take whatever she is out of it. Like, I don't care what she does in her spare time, who she is as an individual. She sucks at her job. Like, she's not doing her job well. She shouldn't be there. That's the point of this. And I don't think people...
that it seems like it's not so much that she doesn't know her audience, but that she absolutely does. And they have a concerted effort to try to indoctrinate kids at younger and younger ages. That's even scarier than just not knowing what they're doing. You know what I mean?
You are 150% correct, which is why I freaking hate Disney.
Well, God. And all this talk about how, everybody's mad at Florida and the Don't Say Gay bill, and everyone's trying to deny that this kind of indoctrination happens. But then there's teachers all over freaking TikTok and other social media platforms bragging about how they do this. And I have an example that I just saw this morning. Look at this.
Me teaching the children about me being
Can you hear that?
Was crazy.
Yep.
But not only that, but they also know that I'm gender fluid. At one point last year, I had explained to them that I was not Miss Lois or Mr. Lois. It's just Lois because I'm not a boy or a girl.
Oh my God.
And this was all well and good until October, when I also explained to them that I'm pagan, so I am also a witch.
Oh my God.
At one point, I got a haircut and I got in the sides of my mohawk shaved down. And I come into work and one of the children goes, Lois, are you a boy? You have short hair. And his sister goes, no, Lois is a girl. And a third child, who's my favorite, suddenly yells, no, guys, we've been over this. Lois isn't a boy or a girl. Lois is a witch. Duh.
That's that's teachers. Okay, this is happening. Yeah, this is a teacher.
And that's one of the ones who's actually sharing it on TikTok. You know what I mean? There are other ones who aren't. There are other ones who just are they're just doing it, and they're not sharing it on social media. I mean, these people love attention. There are a lot of people. There are some of them who don't, and they're just not putting it on social media. So imagine that. So it's like when liberals say, "Oh, this isn't happening. They're just making this up. It's all for an election." Bull crap. You're full of crap. Get out there and look. These are the same people that don't have children. They're not experiencing this. It drives me crazy. They're the ones who don't care. They don't have skin in the game because they don't have kids and they don't care about kids. So bite me.
Okay, switching gears, we also need to mention that Nancy Pelosi is COVID positive. Apparently, right now, she is asymptomatic, but there's a lot of chitter chatter about her close contact with Biden because the other day she kissed Biden on the cheek.
And Obama.
Yeah.
She kissed Obama. She kissed Obama on the hand, which was creepy AF. Did you see that? She was Obama, let me kiss your ring finger.
Ew.
Gross.
Ew.
I know. It's so gross. Ugh.
Oh my God. Well, so Jen Psaki was asked about this in the presser yesterday because the White House's position on this is that Nancy Pelosi did not have close contact with Joe Biden. And everybody's like, she freaking kissed him on the face. Like, how do you, unless they had sex right there, I don't know how you get closer in terms of COVID contact, right? What in the world? And so she was asked about that. Just listen to the spin. This is just crazy. Listen.
Right.
This governor is saying that he's going to start busing border.
Wait, that's not it. One moment. I got to show you.
One moment,
please. This is it's a Hannity clip. Here it is.
All right, Speaker Nancy Pelosi has tested positive for COVID-19. By the way, we wish her the best. And this is just days after kissing Biden on the cheek at the White House at an event. Look at your screen during the event with Biden and Barack Obama. Pelosi goes up to Biden, kisses him right on the cheek. She's literally right next to him. According to the Biden White House, apparently that does not meet the criteria for being in close contact. Kissing is in close contact? Take a look.
How can you guys say that President Biden was not in close contact with Speaker Pelosi when there is video of the speaker kissing him?
Well, Peter, the way that it is defined is by the Center for Disease Control, the CDC, and their definition of it is 15 minutes of contact within a set period of time and within 6 feet. It did not meet that bar.
So the question is, could Pelosi have transmitted the virus to others, including the president? Is this a potential super spreader event? Here with
yes, it's a super spreader. I swear.
Because she didn't kiss him for 15 minutes, then apparently it's like totally fine.
Actually, it's because she's a Democrat. It's totally fine. That's what it is. It's because she's a Democrat, Mock. That's what it is. It's a double standard. These people, there is no such thing as science with these people. Stop listening to them. Stop it. Good.
And just to get it out of the way, I will quickly play the other Psaki clip that I have, which is of Peter talking to her about your governor Abbott's plan to bus migrants to DC, because we talked about that yesterday and how brilliant of a plan it actually is, because no Democrat can argue it. And if they do, they would have to be like, we hate our own policies, right?
Right.
They would have to admit that they hate their own policies. So now the spin is that Governor Abbott does not have the authority. That's what they're going with. Here's that exchange.
Texas governor is saying that he's going to start busing border crossers to Washington, D.C. When they get here,
look at her face.
Are you guys going to help them find a place to stay and something for them to do?
Well, I'm not aware of what authority the governor would be doing that under. I think it's pretty clear this is a publicity stunt. His own office admits that a migrant would need to voluntarily be transported, and then he can't compel them to, because, again, enforcement of our country's immigration laws lies with the federal government, not a state.
Washington, D.C.?
Well, listen, I don't know, but I know that the governor of Texas or any state does not have the legal authority to compel anyone to get on a bus.
So,
really?
Okay, but they can ask.
Okay.
And why would a migrant turn that opportunity down? Why would they?
And so all they have to do, all he has to do is say, listen, there's a bunch of free shit for you in DC. I mean, that's what Biden's done. That's what Biden and Kamala, that's precisely what they've done. So all he has to do is say, listen, Biden and Kamala, they live in DC. So those people who promised you all the free stuff, go live where they live, because they're going to give you all the free stuff there in DC. We're going to put you on a bus so you can go meet them because you love them so much. Here's a Biden Harris t-shirt. These are the people that you love so much. Here you go. We're going to get you connected with them. That's what I would do if I was Abbott. Yeah. That's exactly what I would do. God,
no, there's no compelling. They're just offering an opportunity to go straight to the source of the freebies. I think it's. I don't think there's any problem here. She's just mad because it may be true that they are not allowed to compel them to get on the bus. Okay, fine. But for her to say it's the federal government's job to deal with the border with a straight face. I can't believe that she's doing that. Wait, they clearly are not doing the job.
No.
So how do they expect states to just put up with all of this added pressure, all the drain on resources? They should deal with it.
This is an invasion. What's happening on my border here in Texas is a freaking invasion. Mm-hmm. It's unbelievable what this government, what Biden and this administration has done to Texas. Screw him. It's it's unreal. I hope that that's what he does. I hope that he tells these people, this is who you need to deal. Go be with the people who you love so much. They're waiting for you.
Oh my gosh. I hope a whole bunch of people go. Okay. This next clip, you're going to love this because Brian Stelter was part of a panel. Mr. Potato himself, part of a panel with students. It may have been the same panel that we showed a little clip of yesterday with that one Atlantic journalist. And he is asked by a student to explain himself, essentially, for constantly ripping on Fox News as being a source of disinformation, when in fact CNN neglected to cover or miscovered so many stories. And the deflection of Brian Stelter to this kid's question is so freaking funny. He basically tries to say, well, but look at how reporters from different outlets got together when they were injured and came together to try to help out during the war. We're all super close. That was the deflection. You have
what? Oh my God. Okay.
Here we go.
Hi, thank you for coming. My name is Christopher Phillips. I'm a first year at the college. My question is for Mr. Stelter. You've all spoken extensively about Fox News being a purveyor of disinformation, but CNN is right up there with them. They pushed the Russian collusion hoax. They pushed the Jussie Smollett hoax. They smeared Justice Kavanaugh as a rapist, and they also smeared Nick Sandmann as a white supremacist. And yes, they dismissed the Hunter Biden laptop affair as pure Russian disinformation. With mainstream corporate journalists becoming little more than apologists and cheerleaders for the regime, is it time to finally declare that
I love it.
the canon of journalistic ethics is dead or no longer operative? All the mistakes of the mainstream media and CNN in particular seem to magically all go in one direction. Are we expected to believe that this is all just some sort of random coincidence, or is there something else behind it?
It's too bad. It's time for lunch.
You have 30 seconds.
No, I mean,
Brian.
there's a clock that says 30 seconds. But I think my honest answer to you, and I'll come over and talk in more detail after this, is that
really?
I think you're describing a different channel than the one that I watch. But I understand that that is a popular right-wing narrative about CNN. I think it's important when we talk about shared reality and democracy, all these networks, all these news outlets have to defend democracy. And when they screw up, admit it. But when Benjamin Hall, the Fox correspondent, was wounded in Ukraine, the news crews at CNN and the New York Times stopped what they were doing, and they tried to help. They tried to help him get out of the country. They tried to find the dead crew members. That's what news outlets do. That's how they actually do work together, to your question about sharing those kinds of connections and trust. We don't talk about it enough, though. We don't share that reality about how that happens. And with regards to the regime, I think you mean the President Biden. The last time I spoke with a Biden aide, we yelled at each other. So that's the reality of the news business that people don't see, that people don't hear. They imagine that it's a situation that simply is not. But
literally nobody asked him that. Nothing about what that kid asked him had anything to do with how well he gets along with other channel reporters.
Yeah, so he proved the point, basically. He proved, because he didn't answer anything. He just totally skirted it. So he answered like a PR person and not like an actual journalist. Good job, Brian. Yeah. Because that's exactly what they are, right? I mean, they have become PR people for this administration. They've become PR people for the Democrat Party. They're not journalists. And so he answered like a public relations person. That's what they are. Congratulations, you just proved it.
I know, right? God, right. I mean, just that guy, that potato, man. He's such a potato.
He really is a potato. Yeah. And furthermore, he uses a picture from 20 years ago on his Twitter. Stop it. Stop.
We're on to you, Mr. Potato.
Right.
We are on to you.
Stop it.
It is time for My Pillow Talks. And don't forget, right now, the big sale at mypillow.com/chicks is the sets of towels. That is my personal favorite thing from My Pillow are the towels, because they are so soft and thirsty. And also scrubby, like all at the same time. They're soft and scrubby. They're like scruffy. Scruffy?
Yes.
I love them. And there's a huge sale. So normally $109.99 for a set of 6, now just $39.99 when you use code CHICKS at mypillow.com/chicks.
Such a great deal. Such a great deal. And you guys, now is the time to join Insiders, our Facebook Insiders, if you haven't already. Great group of people. Fantastic. If you're looking for a new set of best friends, that is the place to go. Join our Facebook Insiders group today. Do it today. Do it this weekend.
I do have some more serious talks today. Not serious, but there's
serious?
One. Well, not really, but they're more politically bent. Like I've got a couple that are more political. One of them is like one of those man on the street type of interviews where somebody's saying, "Hey, so why do you think Biden is so much better than Trump?" And you guys. Okay, here we go. Okay.
What would you say Joe Biden is doing better than Trump right now?
Speaking in complete sentences?
Wrong. You think Joe Biden's speaking in complete sentences?
Much more than Trump ever did.
So the best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to, anyway.
What would you say Joe Biden?
How do people use that as their, oh yeah, Biden is better at speaking?
Oh my God.
I just can't. Oh my God. I cannot.
Oh my, wow. Okay.
Okay. There's one chick who we've played her videos before where she was making fun of that moment where Kamala was trying to charge an electric car, remember? And she wouldn't stop holding the charger thingy. And so this is the woman that we played who was making fun of her. She has an important message, and I knew you would appreciate this especially because it's something that you have said over and over and over to our audience as well. And I thought it was just worth saying again. And so you are on team her because you say the exact same thing, and I love this.
If you text me or message me or whisper to me that you agree with what I say on social media, but you're afraid to say so publicly, you're part of the problem. You have to speak up. You have to stand up. Even though it's scary, even though you might lose friends. Are they really friends if you lose them?
Right.
Silence is acceptance.
Anyway.
Right.
I thought
Silence is
it's
acceptance.
something that you have said many, many, many times.
Oh my God, a gajillion times for years I've been saying that. I actually wrote a post yesterday about that too. Like there was a clip from there was a Bill Maher clip where he was talking to Dennis Prager, okay, and it was from 2019, and Dennis Prager brought up the whole men can menstruate thing, and I remember Rowan Farrow. Rowan Farrow was on the panel. Like all these other people were on the panel, and they made fun of him for saying that. He was like, liberals are saying that men can menstruate, and you would not believe the amount of crap that he got. Bill Maher gave him crap. He's like, nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying it. This was in 2019. And so I posted it and I'm like, look how far we've come. Like now and he brought up the example. He goes, listen, in Connecticut, there are biological men who are trampling girls in track, and we're just allowing it to happen. And that was when it was just like nobody was talking about that. You and I talked about it on our podcast back in like 2019. Nobody was really talking about it. It wasn't a huge news story. And now look where we are: swimming, cycling, all of these. I mean, it's like it's happening. Like it's oozing into our culture. And the whole men can menstruate thing. If you say that a transgender man can't menstruate, like you risk getting shut down. Like you risk being called a transphobe. You're a bad person if you say that. You see what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, it's crazy how we've gone just in 3 years, the amount of culture rot that we've seen. And that's why I wrote about it, because people won't speak up. People won't say, you're crazy. You are a crazy person. I'm not going to listen. And I'm not just going to sit here and allow you to be crazy and take over my country. And we need to do more of that. You need to speak out against the crazy people because they're crazy, y'all. So,
and it's okay to say that. The more people who actually say that out loud, the better of an impact that might make. Otherwise, it just looks like we're all agreeing. And silence is agreeing, right? Silence is compliance, essentially.
Yeah. And our kids suffer. That's what's happening, because we just sit back and go, oh, it'll go away. It's not happening. And other people will do it. No. Everybody who has a brain that knows that this is crazy has to say, this is freaking nuts. You're a lunatic. And I'm not putting up with it. So everybody has to have skin in the game. Everybody. You know?
Yeah. Okay, we'll finish off with a dog, because why not, right?
Good.
So
the weekend.
You have to watch this. So this is someone is playing a prank on their dog, and the dog's face when it realizes what has been done to it. It's so, I mean, you can just feel the dog's betrayal, like sense of betrayal, right? This is why I love this video. He spit it back out.
Oh my God. I love dogs. Stop.
He was like, I'm not going to take your piddly little snack. I want the pile or nothing, man.
I know. That's how I feel. Much. I love dogs. My God.
Anyway, those are your talks. I know it's not a lot, but we'll be back to normal talks when I can share my screen and it works better and all that when we're back on for regular hours next week.
Those were good talks. Those are good vacation talks, Mock. Good ones. You guys, it's been a crazy week. We are back to normal on Monday. Everybody bring it in. Bring it in. Oh my God. You have big plans for the weekend? Everybody have big plans for the weekend or what?
I'm going to be driving, like incessantly, endlessly driving.
Yeah. A lot of driving. Okay.
A lot of driving.
Okay, you guys. Well, we wish you safe travels, Mock, and everybody have a fantastic weekend. And we will talk to y'all on Monday. Bye, everybody.